Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Zoom training. This is on specifically teacher appreciation for the school system because that is coming up next month. So a lot of the presentation is going to be focused on that, but I want you guys to keep in mind, and I'll repeat this later, that what we're covering today for the school system, you can absolutely apply this to other types of businesses or something similar. And I'll explain as we go. Those of you who are on my page, Do in Our Schools, we also focus on just partnerships in general, right? So bringing doTERRA into places of business, doing lunch and learns, chiropractors' offices, acupuncturists, all these different places. But many people had an interest in bringing essential oils and doTERRA into the school system. When I started doing this years ago, a lot of people wanted teachers to diffuse in the classroom and have the diffuser going for the students and all of that sort of thing, which some places they allow, some places they don't allow. And so what I encouraged people to do was still partner with the schools and have them get to know you, work with the faculty, have them fall in love with the oils, right? And then it would, it would be what it was meant to be from there. And in the last, 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this, certain schools in the district that I am in most of the time, they don't technically allow diffusers in the classroom. But I have so many teachers on my team who do utilize essential oils in some capacity with their students. Sometimes they even hide the diffusers if they have to, right? I work in another county now that they allow diffusers in the classroom. But regardless, right, the teacher and the school faculty community are a community that really could benefit from what we do, with essential oils, as could anyone, right? But to do it within the school system, what we have coming up now in May with Teacher Appreciation Week, it just gives you guys a really good opportunity to build those relationships because the schools are much more open to inviting people to come in and pamper the teachers, right? I was doing this years ago. In the last couple of years, it stopped, obviously, because of the pandemic, right? So they weren't allowing us to go in there. So, and it may be still the case where you guys are in, the part of I'm in Florida. So we're a bit more open here than other parts of the country and other countries, especially. But if they're allowing you to go in, even, with a very small group of people in the areas that you live in, definitely reach out, whether it's the schools, and this, like I said, is going to be focused more on the schools because of teacher appreciation and because of the openness for that during this time. But you also could potentially, utilize that in another office environment if where you are, the school system is not allowing people in. Okay, so you could still take what you've learned today in the presentation and apply that to other places of business where you could create partnerships that are allowing people, for you to come in and meet with people. Okay, so, but that's how I got started with this. And now would be the time to start reaching out to getting those appointments scheduled. I'm gonna share my screen now so I can share this presentation so that I tried to make something so that I could really cover most of what I wanted to share with you guys and not forget everything. But I still may I still may forget stuff, but hopefully this will keep me a little bit more on track here. So let me just hope there's people coming in. I hope I can let people in while I'm on the presentation here. Okay, let's see from the beginning. Well, that doesn't, I guess it looks big. Okay. Hopefully I can still let people in. I don't know if it's gonna let me. If people keep coming in, I'm trying to see if it'll let me. Let me see if I got this right. Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Marlene Yvette. I created this page, Do in Schools, Fundraisers, and in the Workplace. So it was a way to kind of come together as doTERRA advocates, right? And share ideas and share the things that are working for us to create partnerships in our community. I'm not going to cover fundraisers as much in this call, but if you're new to the page and you're really interested in fundraisers and what that would entail, you are welcome to, oh, Margaret, you can let people in. Huh, I don't even know how to do that, Margaret. I wish I did. Let me see. How do I do that? That would be a good idea if I knew how to do it. Let me see how I can do that. Because in case people keep coming in and I'm not able to see them. How do I do that? So co-hosts, participants. How do I do that? Oh, there's somebody else coming in. Make co, let me see if I see. It's not in participants. Is it in, that's the recording. Do you know, click the dots on the upper right of her name. And you can make, I don't see dots up by her name. I don't see dots by her name. Maybe I don't have. You can make her co-host in the participant list. Okay, participant list, Margaret. Let me find her. Okay, there she goes. More. Make a host. Does that work? I don't see co-host. Make host is okay. Let me know if that's good. Okay. Thank you, Margaret. I appreciate it. I appreciate the help because there might be more people coming in and I might not see them.
But I don't know if you can still share if I'm the host though.
Oh, let's try. Okay. Host disabled participant sharing. Host disabled participant screen sharing. Oh, okay. Well, then I don't think that'll work. How would we do it then? Oh, it's because it's not a co-host. It's just a host. So I have to be the host. Okay, well, hopefully I can see when people are coming in because I have to share the screen for sure. Thank you for offering though, Margaret. I appreciate it. Okay, so let's see here. Back here. Slideshow. From the beginning. Okay, there we go. So again, like I was saying, you could utilize what you learned from this presentation in many different other areas, other types of business, and I'll go over some of that. But when we're talking about teacher appreciation, now is the time to start making those contacts. As you can see here in the right corner, that was an email that I sent out to several schools that I have partnered with in the past and just offering them my time and coming in and doing hand aroma touch techniques, which they don't know what that is. So I just call them hand massages, right? Because they won't know if I say aroma touch technique. And also, you know, samples and that sort of thing. And so can you just go ahead and send emails? Sure. I do recommend reaching out to the school that you're interested in partnering with, maybe because they're in your neighborhood and you're in your county, maybe your children go to that school. If your children go, maybe you already know who those contact people are, right? And so you could reach out to them and then make sure you know who the decision maker is, right? That would let you come in and do that. And, you know, I have this email, it works really well. I didn't share the exact copy of the whole email here, but I think in the group, I put most of the email in there, but really just offer what you're, you know, offering, make it your own and send it to the decision makers. You could call ahead and maybe get their email if you don't know their email. Make sure you emphasize that it's free for them and that it's your contribution to the community and appreciation for the hard work of, oh, it's environment people, of the teachers, you know, that work at that school. What else? You can, again, if you have children that are school age, start there, right? Because you have already maybe built relationships with the faculty there, with the teachers there. Maybe you sampled a few teachers already. So that's even better, right? Because when you come in, like I usually try to go to the schools where I've already enrolled people that love the oils. Because what happens is when I get to that school, people are like, oh yeah, Deb gives us samples all the time, or I love this oil, or she's been telling me about them for a while, right? Because a lot of times people know how to sample and they know how to share what they love about the oils, but they don't always know how to take it from there to, you know, enrolling them, right? So that's where I come in and I help them out with that part, right? So I love to go to schools where I have people enrolled who will share with others what they love about the oils. And I let them know ahead of time, I'm going to be coming, to your school. Make sure can I give you a few samples? Maybe try to sample them ahead of time, right? So they can start spreading the word for you and that sort of thing. So what I basically do in the, when it's that day, right? I come in, I have goodie bags with some samples. Now, the way I do it, and I think that's on the next slide, is I have them register ahead of time, right? So I use Calendly, which it normally works okay. It didn't really work for this call that well, but there's Calendly, there's Wavado, like there's different things you can use. I'm actually transferring over to Wavado slowly but surely, but right now I use that. So I have the teachers, each school gets, their link from me, and then they select their slot. And when they select their slot, they will, I'll ask questions, right? And so again, you could do this, like I say at the bottom, you could use this similar concept for any industry. You could do it for lunch and learns. I have emails that are not so much about teacher appreciation, but they're about, doing lunch and learns in some type of business, right? That they could benefit. I've done it at law firms. I've done it at doctors' offices, at dentist offices, at chiropractors' offices, at acupuncturists. I've even done it at pet stores where like I do a pets and oils class. I've done it at churches. And so if you are in a place, in a place in the country where people are still kind of weary of like having you come to their house to teach a class, if you're struggling, put in, I don't know if I can see the chat right now because I have this on, but I'll watch it. I'll look at it later. If you're having that issue with getting people to host classes for you because people are afraid of getting together in their home, or they don't want to come to your home, or they don't want people coming to their home, if that's still an issue where you are, these types of partnerships are a really great way to be able to continue to teach classes. Because I don't know about you guys, but online is great for continuing education for me and my team. I have just never mastered that in building my business. I've never mastered being an online advocate who does these classes online and enrolls a ton of people. It's just not my strength. Maybe I obviously know it works for some people because there's a lot of people out there that it works for. But for me, it's always been that in-person connection. And so I've always tried to find ways to connect in my community, even beyond just doing classes in the home or finding a location. It's been challenging for me in the past to find a good location where everyone just came to me. So I went out to different places, and that's how I've done a great deal of business. So if that's still an issue for where you're living, this is a really good way to get around that, and create partnerships. And, when you do that, when you have that invitation, it's always about what you're bringing to them, right? It's not about like what we need from their communities, but all the free samples they're getting, all, of our attention and our hand massages and our service to them, and even marketing, right? Because not necessarily for this, but like if I was doing a chiropractor's office or a law firm, a chiropractor's office or an acupuncturist, I would let them know I'm going to promote this. And I'll talk more about how you could even promote these types of events to the general public and of course to your own team. So you're bringing people to that place that maybe are not customers yet and could potentially become a customer. So the possibilities are endless. And that's what our page on Facebook is for us to really share in there. And I know we haven't done too much sharing lately because everything's been shut down. But as things start to open up again and you guys are out working and teaching classes and doing these things, please share in there like what's working for you, where you're teaching them, how you got in, what you did, how it went for you, and that gives us all ideas of how we can partner in our community. So again, when you're in the school, you're going to set your wellness consults. They're going to be, you could hopefully schedule them ahead of time. And then when you're there, I do like the hand technique when I'm with them, but I'm talking to them too. Like I'm doing it, but I'm keeping a calm voice and I'm talking to them as I'm doing the technique. And, oh, I remember you said you had pain. How does this feel? Let them select their oil, have the oil set out for them to smell and have that experience with the oil and pick the one they want for their hand technique. And as you're doing this technique, you're chatting with them. Not a ton, like I'm also going to have them enjoy their technique, but little bits here and there before we get started. I mentioned to them, oh, I remember in your registration, you put in there that you have carpal tunnel, or you have inflammation in your knuckles. So I'm going to use this oil because it really helps with inflammation. So you talk about that. And then you go over, you know, their wellness concerns. Even after you're done with the technique, you just chat with them and do like a quick little mini consult. And you could honestly do this in 5 to 8 minutes. When I've done these, I've been in there back to back with teachers, and I've done them where I'm doing those consults, and I've enrolled easily in a month, 25 to 33 teachers in a month. If you haven't had a month in doTERRA where you've enrolled 20 or 30 people, this is your month to really do that, okay? And it's so quick and it's so easy, but we'll talk later in the presentation. It's not all about enrolling all the people. How do you serve them? How do you retain them? That's a big part of this too, because if that's not happening, you did all that work, right? And what's really coming of it? So like I said, you do the hand technique, you have the samples ready. So you could even, and I think here's like my little thing that I asked them about their issues when they're registering for their slot. So I will have their little sample package. So if they marked off digestive issues, they'll have a little digestion sample. If they marked off pain, they'll have a deep blue sample, right? So they're going to register ahead of time. I'm going to have my little packet ready with their samples. With those of you who saw that I was asking for 200 doTERRA bottles, empty bottles, I make the little sprays. That is a gift as well, a little mask and hands, because they still wear masks in school here. Mask and sanitizer sprays with the On Guard and the Breathe. They have their individualized packets of samples, right? And then after I do the aroma touch, I simply discuss enrollment options with them. You know, I just do it just like I was doing any other consult. So I love to work with you. I know I can help you with your digestive issues. I know I can help you with your hormone imbalances. I know I can help you, you know, with the things I've already known. And I just give them enrollment options. And many times they will enroll right there on the spot. Okay, and I'll talk more about that piece. But at this point, you're just using what you've gathered from them ahead of time to have their packages ready. So they're very individualized samples for them, and their experience with the hand technique is based according to their needs, right? So you have all this information ahead of time. Here's a little picture. This is the little sanitizer mask sprays. They used to have this, I think this was on like Aroma Tools or something. It's like a one called, so you can even individualize like their little roller in their gift bag, happy teacher, calm teacher. These were labels I got, I think it was Aroma Tools back then. I don't know if they still have these on there, but you could also create your own little fun names on your labels that are specific for teachers, right? And do your little goodie bag. And then I also, if like, let's say they have seasonal allergies, I may put, you know, a couple of Tri-Ease capsules in their sample bag, or a couple of Digestion soft gels, right? They got the spray, and you can, it's so, I mean, especially if you use your points, you can make these sprays for like pennies, right? Because you're reusing the bottles. I think I pay, what, 30 or 40 cents per spray cap when I buy them in bulk. And I make my own little label. And I tell you what, I have made hundreds and hundreds of these little sprays. And when the pandemic first kind of started and we had all these essential workers still out there working, right? When there was a lot of lockdown, I would go out and I would donate these sprays to the post office, to different markets when people were working, to the banks, right? And I would just go out and donate these and like talk to people about their options and get their information. And I met so many people this way. And it's a sampling opportunity that they love. They could use it so much, whether it's for their mask or for their hands, right? And it's a great sampling opportunity and a great gift that looks much more than like, you know, our little sample bottles, like they're getting a whole spray bottle, but it's still costing you about the same because you're reusing your doTERRA oil bottles. So that's what they get in their goodie bag with the samples, the blends. And like you would do that, you would cater it to whatever, if you're looking to do this in another industry, right? You could put calm lawyer, calm attorney, happy chiropractor, happy, you know, whatever it is, you could just make the blend be for that group, for that community. So they feel, I remember one year we did it with one of my builders, we did a Zumba convention and it was like happy Zumba teacher blend or something, right? So you could do that for anything. And then the samples are just very catered when you have that information ahead of time. So that's a really good thing to do. This is something that I also use during the actual consult part. Those of you who are not familiar with Lisa Zimmer's trifold. And again, anything that I go over during this call, tools that I use, things that I just use in my own business that I found really helpful, you will get an email a few hours after this call ends with the links to everything that I go over. You know, anything that I use that I found value in, if you're interested in using it, I'm going to have a link emailed to you with the recording of this presentation so you can share it, and you also have access to anything that I use that maybe you'll find value in. So I use the trifold. I use this thing as everything in my business. I use it as a business card. I use it for vendor events. I use it for classes when I teach classes. I use this for everything. I love this trifold. And for consults, it's super easy. So as I'm going over, you know, the different oils and I'm asking questions, as you see in the second, it has the 10 basic oil questions there. I just ask them those questions. Not, and with them, they've already told me a lot of it, right? Because I have their registration. So I might already know a lot of this information in this case. But I still, whatever we talk about during, you know, the little consult I do with them, I'll check off the oils. And it's a nice visual when you show somebody this trifold and 6 out of the 10 oils are checked off, or 8 out of the 10 oils are checked off. It shows them right off the bat that they're going to benefit from a kit because they're going to use 6 or 8 oils right from the beginning, right? And then here in the health goals section here with these new customized kits that we're going to be, hopefully, I mean, I've already enrolled people with these things. I absolutely love customized kits. Sorry, my dog's barking. Shut up, baby. I'm so excited. I hope that they keep them forever because I really love the idea of getting people started with more than just oils. You know what I mean? Without having to be like 6 bottles of pills, like the Healthy Start Kit, because not everybody's there, right? You know, when you work with somebody, it's going to take them maybe some time to even start on one supplement. But that's what I would put here, like in the health goals, maybe mark off like just the digestin soft gels, maybe just the phytoestrogen. You know, I'm really focusing a lot on that supplement because it helps women so much. So you could put that there. And then you utilize this for your clothes, right? Where you talk about, you know, what they should get started with, what kits they benefit from. And maybe they love the Aroma Touch hand technique. So now they can also enroll, right, and get certified for getting the Aroma Touch. That's another thing I'm going to definitely focus on. In fact, one of the drawings I'll have will be, especially for those teachers that really, really enjoy that hand technique and they're just blown away by it, or they love the idea when I explain that there's a whole body technique on a massage table and they show interest in that, I'll offer them one, or I'll do a drawing for one. And that's now another opportunity. So if I didn't enroll them at the event, at the teacher appreciation event, and now I'm doing Aroma Touches after, that's another opportunity to give them another experience and then sit with them for that enrollment of the Aroma Touch if that's the direction that they want to go in and that they have that interest in. So you have that option as well. So this is going to be basically, you know, how I get that enrollment right after that Aroma Touch. So within 15 minutes, I'm gonna explain to them the kits. I'm gonna explain to them, you know, maybe just catering, you know, if they want to do the 150 PV, do a little bit of oils, a couple of supplements, or maybe just one supplement. And then, you know, maybe some cleaning products if that's something that they're interested in, because I do ask that in the registration as well. And then of course the Aroma Touch technique, if they're really interested in that right off the bat, I'm gonna offer that as an enrollment as well. And then if, let's say, right, they're like, oh, I can't enroll with 150, that's too much, or I'm not ready to spend that kind of money. I always have lower price options for people, especially in these quick little like vendor events, quick little consults where I'm with somebody for 10, 15 minutes. Like I'm not giving them an entire class like we normally give them all the information. You always want to have a lower price option for them, right? So at this point, I just ask them, well, what's comfortable for you? You know, and then I let them tell me what their budget is, and then I just adjust to their budget. If they say something around $75, I'll also try to get a commitment for 3 months if I can. So what can you invest? My question normally is, how much can you comfortably invest in your wellness for the next 3 months, right? Because if they give me a number, what have I done? I've just got them on LRP for 3 months right off the bat. And I'd much rather get somebody on a lower price point coming in but get them on LRP from day one, than have them order a huge kit and then struggle to get them on LRP later, right? So this is a really good question to ask everyone, no matter what they're enrolling with. You want that continuous connection with them for 3 months minimum, right? So you can help them with all the facets of their life and all the areas they need help with. And some lower price points, we have our wellness programs. We have the intro kit, the travel kit, the spa kit. Maybe they start with a supplement. And I normally bring like wholesale diffusers with me as well, right? So that if, you know, that could sweeten the pot a little bit, I get them on sale sometimes for even as low as $8, $10, you know, so I usually have a ton sitting around from events I've done. So I'll bring some of those as well to help me maybe get some enrollments if I need that extra carrot for that as well. So, and then this point is the follow-up, right? So if they're not ready to enroll after that event, you have their information. You know, hopefully you do have a space where you are teaching classes, whether that's in person or online. So you put them in your, you know, in that, whatever that is to keep, you know, in touch with them, and then have them invited over and over and over. Maybe you invite them to an aroma touch technique. Maybe you invite them to, where do you buy diffusers? I get them either Green Air. They have them in Green Air, Spa Room. You can get them by the cases. In Spa Room. I actually, thank you for asking me that, because I can add another link now, because I don't think I put the link for the diffusers in my email. So I will add that in for you guys. So yeah, so you can do that as well. And then I lost my train of thought. So what was I gonna say? Oh, so you continue inviting them, right? So if you don't enroll them at that point, I mean, and even if you do, right, and then comes the continuing education. But if you don't enroll them at that point, you want their information, you want to invite them. So I personally have a class scheduled toward the end of May. So all of my teacher appreciation events that I'll be doing, I think I have like 8 schools booked right now. All of those events, I'm going to be promoting that class, whether or not they enroll. They enroll, great. Come see a full class, learn more, get the full scope of what we do. They don't enroll, invite them to the class, try to get them to come get an aroma touch with me, you know, maybe borrow a diffuser, like whatever it is that I can, you know, based on that person, you kind of try to connect with that person and what their needs are, what they would, you know, what would be good for them. Some people are trying to get in. Okay, so that's the teacher appreciation event. Okay, so before I move on to the next little piece here, I just want to ask if anyone has questions about this part, please put them in the chat. If it's any questions about the teacher appreciation events specifically within the school system. If you have any questions about that, put them in the chat, because the next subject matter I'm going into is going to be a little bit different than just the school events and teacher appreciation events. Okay. So I'm going to look in the chat and see if anyone's putting questions in here. I don't see anything. I don't see questions. So we're all good with this. This is all clear. Hopefully put in the chat if you can hear me well and everything's good and you got you're excited to get these going. You feel like you can make it happen. No questions. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Monette. I appreciate it. Okay, good. I just want to make sure that it's all clear and like, because I know I can ramble on a bit when I have so many things in my mind. So I just want to make sure that everything I've gone over so far is clear. You understand how it goes, how I make them happen, how I get yeses, and I get yeses. I mean, 8 schools. I have people emailing me back, oh my goodness, will you really? People are so like just craving connection, craving pampering, you know, craving all of that after everything we've been through. You know what I mean? They could not believe that I was offering all of this for free. They could not believe it. Well, how much do we have to pay you? It's free. They couldn't believe it. So put it out there. People would be really interested in this. For the teacher blends, Moneta, for Calm Teacher, I normally do like a balance. And for Happy Teacher, I normally do citrus with mint. Like I'll do like a citrus bliss with like a little bit of mint in there too. That's usually what I use. And they love them. They love them. That's for Calm Teacher, Happy Teacher. A good question. I should have said what it was in there. How much time do you spend at each school? So Andrea, great question. I have it registered ahead of time. So they have to choose their slots. I send them a registration link and their slots all the way from 10:30 in the morning until school is out at 3 p.m. And it's 15-minute slots. So I'm done with one, the next one comes in. I'm done with one, the next one comes in. I give myself 30 minutes just because if something runs over or if somebody takes time to get to me or, I don't want to. So the slots are set for 30 minutes, but I'm only with them for 15. And I could tell you, I'll do an aroma touch technique, a consult, a close, take their order in 15 minutes. Like I'll put my laptop there. They can fill out the information for their order while I'm doing the next teacher. And trust me, it's been like that at schools, back-to-back teachers. In fact, some of the schools want me to come back a second day if I don't get to see all the teachers in one day. Which oils do you allow? So my plan in the past, Moneta, for the aroma touch technique hand, I just brought different ones that I thought would be good. I bring like aroma touch, I bring deep blue if they have pain, copaiba. But what I think I'm gonna do this time is try to bring as many as I can from the actual kit, because now they can enroll with that kit and get certified. So I wanna really focus on teaching them about those oils in case that's the direction that I go with them and enrolling them with the aroma touch kit. So I'm probably gonna do balance, wild orange, peppermint, deep blue, and have them choose from those oils. Yeah, good question. That's because I know in the technique itself, Dr. Hill says you could use any oil for the hand one, but I think I'm still going to focus on the ones in that kit so that I can expose them to it during the during the consult and the aroma touch technique. Okay, next, this is about beyond the school, individual schools, conferences, and yes, the school boards, they have, at least here in Florida, conferences all throughout the year, different ones for finance officers, for the safety team, for the IT people. I mean, there's all kinds of conferences that are related to the school system, okay? And they're expensive. That's probably why a lot of people don't sponsor them, because a lot of these 2-day, 3-day conventions, these professional conventions, they are a lot, thousands of dollars to have a table there and sponsor, okay? But the thing is, the nature of our business is not, it doesn't make sense. That investment doesn't make sense for us, for the nature of our business. We're not gonna sell, 3,000 boxes of toilet paper to the school. You know what I mean? So that person that sells those industry supplies, it's worth it for them to spend that $2,000 to get into that conference, right? Because they're going to end up selling their supplies to an entire school system. That's not necessarily what we're going to do. But at these conferences, and I don't know about you guys, I don't normally do too well with like the booths, the farmers markets, and these these tables where people are coming to you and they're just getting a little tidbit of information, but it's just this 1-day event and you meet them. Sometimes maybe the follow-up is normally very difficult. I don't do so well at those types of events, but when it's an event that is a 3-day conference, a 2-day conference, these conferences where people are there captive with you for 3 days, they're staying in the hotel where the conference is taking place, those I do well at. Because you get to really meet and know the people over the 3 days, right? The samples that you're giving them, they're using at the hotel room that night, right? The Serenity for their sleep. They're using that deep blue and their neck day in and day out in those 3 days while they're sitting there through those lectures for hours and hours and hours, right? So those types of conferences are great for us, but they're pricey. $2,000, $3,000. I think the one that I just booked in June is $2,000, and it's related to the school system. But what I did, you have to use your power of negotiation. I found out who the sponsor person was, like who booked all the sponsors for the event, and I spoke to her. And I just said, I explained who I was and what I did, and that the nature of my business was not necessarily for that level of an investment. I'm not going to get essential oils into the entire school system. So it doesn't make sense for me to invest that much to be a part of that event. But I could make the experience of her participants so much more pleasant during those 3 days with what I was offering. So my audience is those, I think it's 250 people that are at that particular convention that I'll be meeting and get to know over 3 days, that I'll be sampling, quality sampling them and following up with them right there between the first and the third day that they're there with me, right? So what I was, take them please, please. So what I'll be able to do, and close the door, thank you. Sorry, what I'll be able to do is sample everyone, you know, and provide a goodie bag for everyone at the event, you know, samples. And it's still an investment, right? Samples, but it's not $2,000. It's a few $100s. And is it worth sampling 250 people? Heck yeah. So I'm going to give them samples of Serenity per night. And they agreed. And they were so excited to invite me to do this and to have all this great essential oils for their people and have diffusers going in each conference room so they could have that aromatherapy going while they were getting all these lectures, you know, throughout the day. I don't know if I have my other bag here. I wanted to show you. And then what I did, because you know how when you go to conferences, normally you get this bag, and she said, you know, they're already going to get goodies. They're going to get snacks, and they're going to get different things that have been donated and that we've purchased for our participants and our other sponsors. And so I said, well, do you already have a bag for them to put everything in? Because I'm already going to be giving you a goodie bag for everyone, so I can make it be big enough for everyone. And she was so excited. So now every single person at this conference is going to carry around my baggie, my big bag, my reusable bag that I ordered. I'll put the link in for this too, because I got a good deal on them, with my logo, my phone number, my email for everyone there, right? They're going to carry around my bag all weekend. And I'm not even spending the thousands of dollars that most sponsors are spending to be a part of this convention. So utilize your skill of persuasion and of sharing the amazing benefits that they would get from the gifts you're bringing and the value that that brings to them. So you can book these types of conferences in your area, and they are incredible for building relationships with new people because you're getting to know them. I've done these in the past where it is so funny because people will go to bed, you know, that night in the hotel room, and sometimes they like to party after they've worked a long day. So I'll have like a hangover blend ready for them. I have the Serenity ready for them. Those sanitizer sprays will be perfect for this, right? They use it in the hotel room that night, the Serenity, and they are literally running to my table the next day. Like, what was that? I have not slept that well in I don't know how long. Or something maybe I gave them for the scent in the room. You know how the hotel rooms can be like musty and wet and icky and yucky? A little bit of something to put on their air conditioner in the room. Oh my goodness, it smelled so good in here. Oh my goodness, that deep blue helped me so much. I've been sitting in that chair for 8 hours through these lectures. It's killing me. The people in these conventions, when they would get their breaks, would beeline it to my table, like run to my table. Can I have some more deep blue? Breathing in the diffuser. So I wish I had pictures. I wish I had pictures on the presentation here of them breathing in the diffuser, inhaling it, you know, in their breaks, because they see how much it helps them. So by the third day at these conventions, I've been easily able to enroll 15, 20 people. And these are small. I mean, the ones I've done in the past were not even of 200 people. Maybe they were 100 people, and I enrolled like a quarter of them easily. Okay, and the rest, a lot of them I kept in touch with. Okay, so much to the point that it was so prevalent that they come to my table that there was one that I did for the it was the American Sign Language Association. They had continuing education for people that were translators. And I did that convention, I think 3 or 4 years. The first year I did it, that's what happened. They were coming to my table. They wanted the sample. They were begging me for whatever I had to smell the diffuser. The second year when I went to book it, the organizer on the phone, she was hysterical laughing. She said, oh my goodness, Marnie, you don't know. Everybody, all the sponsors that want to be in this event this year are all asking to be set up next to you. because everybody from the convention goes to your table and everybody else's tables are bare. And I'm like, well, you should tell them to just sell oils because it's much better. But so there was just hilarious. They wanted all to be next to my table so that they could be around the people because everyone came to my table. So you guys know, we have something that people, especially once they experience it, they want and they need in their lives. We just have to finesse our way in, without having to spend $2,000 because I'm diamond rank and I don't have that kind of money to throw away at a conference for who knows what could happen. And we don't have to. What we bring has just as much value, if not more value, than them getting the money. Having those participants experience at that convention be that much more pleasurable is a win for everyone. Okay, so utilize that and make those connections, make the phone calls. I know it's scary. We're fear rejection. I was like, oh my God, who do I think I am? Calling these people that are charging $2,000 to tell them I'm gonna give them a couple of samples of oils and let me in your convention. Who do I think I am? But I did it anyway. I was sweating. I'm sure I was red as a beet, but who cares? You do it anyway. The worst they could say is no, and that's fine. But sometimes they say yes, and it works especially for these that are days, weekends long or during the week, 2 or 3 days long. Okay, so put it out there. Let me see if I missed anything on here. Oh, for this particular one, okay, and if you have these types of conventions in your area, because the one that I'm doing in June, it is specifically for the buyers of 37 school districts, okay, that are coming. These are the people that purchase all of the things that the school uses, okay? So I've never done this before, and I will let you guys know how it goes. This is a new one for me. I've only done like the little samples and enrolled everybody that was there in terms of like, participants. But this time there will be buyers there for the schools, okay? And I am going to try to sell them the On Guard concentrate for that school district. The way that I'm going to try to sell it is I crunch the numbers, and if they get a professional account and they dilute the On Guard the way we teach people to dilute the On Guard concentrate, each bottle of cleanser will be 53 cents. Now, if I'm not competing with that bottle of industrial garbage that they're probably going to buy for the school, I'm coming pretty darn close, right? And what do I have to lose? I'm going to be with 37 districts of schools. Who knows how many buyers, how many schools? I'm going to try it. Have nothing to lose. I already know the numbers. We know the benefits, right? We know that it's much better for kids to inhale these cleaners than the garbage that they're putting in these school systems, right? I remember being in school, it used to choke me to walk into the bathroom. And I'm just going to try and see what happens. So I'll keep you posted on how that goes and what works and what didn't and how that goes. But I'm going to try. Have nothing to lose. Have nothing to lose with trying. And if they have events like that in your area, do the same, or maybe even schedule an appointment with each school for the buyer of that school. You know what I mean? If there's not a full conference around you or in your areas, every school has a person or maybe a couple or department that's in charge of what goes into that school in terms of products. Okay. You have nothing to lose with scheduling those appointments and trying and seeing if you can compete with what they're doing, what they're purchasing, and giving them a much better alternative. Now professional accounts don't affect our volume the same way and our ranks the same way. And that's something to take into account, but it can still help because you're still getting that volume. So it still helps rank to a certain degree. I'm not sure about the fast starts and stuff like that, but I know I have a professional account on my team right now that's a spa. And when they do purchase, it's a couple $1,000s. So that does help rank. So even if it's not helping in the way that, some of our other accounts would help, it's still a benefit. And we want to give them the best discount, right? So we want, they're going to be buying, professional accounts, they have to buy a $500 order. That's the minimum they can buy anyway. So how many times have you needed $500 in volume extra that last couple of days of the month for your rank? You're like, oh, I just need 500 more. One order from that school would do it for you, even if it's in a professional account. So keep that in mind and give it a try. You don't have anything to lose. some of the other little tips and tricks that I'm going to do in terms of, because have you ever done these types of events where like there's lots of people, but not everyone comes to your table? And you're just like, I just want to just go and grab everybody and just pull them over here, right? Well, everyone's going to be getting my bag, and they're all going to know who I am. They're going to smell me from a mile away because I'm going to have all the diffusers going, right? But I still want as many of those 250 people to walk up to my table. So what I'm going to do, and some of you on here do use, I think I mentioned it in here. You do use Mailbox Power. That's another system that I use. Incredible, so worth the investment that you use for this. It is transforming so many things I do in my business. And with this particular event, what I plan on doing with all of their different samples is creating a postcard, which will then explain like how they're going to use each sample. Tonight, when you go into your hotel room for sleep, apply the Serenity this way. Apply this oil in your air conditioner vent so it lets the room smell nicer. Utilize this wipey to clean the surfaces, that you're going to be putting, your hands or your food or something, instead of using some chemicals, that sort of thing, right? To explain how to use everything. Then it's going to have a QR code. So if you like any of these samples that you've tried in your goodie bag from this convention and you'd like to learn more, there's a QR code with my web form. They can put the information in there. So that's another way I'm going to try to collect everyone's information, even if I don't get to meet everyone. And then the sprays that I asked everybody for, all those bottles, those spray bottles, they have to come to my table to get that. So it will say, bring me your business card. On the card, it's going to say, bring me your business card for an extra gift. Bring me your business card to my booth, to the Healing Hippie booth, and receive another gift. And I feel like that will bring many more people to my table. Not that they're not going to be coming anyway, right? Because I hope they do. But there's always those few that they're like, I don't know, I'll do it later. And they never get around to it. But if they know they're going to get another gift and be entered into a raffle, right? So I'm going to get their business, I'm going to have my nice big fishbowl there, enter into a raffle with your business card and get another gift. And I'll have my 250 sprays waiting for them there. That cost me pennies to make, right? But they're going to be so happy with their sprays. So that's another thing that I'm going to do. And Mailbox Power Base, and I'll get into it because I do show some other things here, but I know like Terry uses it. There's some people put in the chat, like if you use this system and how much you're loving it, because it has really helped me. Because, a lot, how many times have you given a bunch of samples and you're like, people are like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. Like, what do I do with any of this? And then you got to print it all out on your little papers, and it just doesn't look professional. With these cards, it's going to look so nice, designed with my logo, very professional, and it's unlimited for free with your membership. You get as many postcards as you want. It's incredible. I used to spend and Vistaprint so much money on postcards and business cards and all that kind of stuff. So I'll be using that. Let me see, what else I put in here. Provide instead of paying for the booth. Okay, we talked about that. Collect their emails and web forms. Collect their emails for raffles. Always offer a drawing so you can get their information. You always want to be able to really reconnect with people, offer them further classes in the future, things like that. So I think I went over everything here, and I really hope I've inspired you guys to try to get into some conventions. I'm going to go down here and see. Awesome. Mailbox Power. Great. Awesome. What would you offer as samples for a baby bumps conference? Ooh, Margaret, baby bumps. Other people put recommendations in the chat because I don't have babies, but I do think that if I was working with a conference that was for expectant moms, I would put samples for mama, for stress, through labor, through delivery. I know I have a girl on my team that had a completely natural childbirth with essential oils. So I would put something for that, and then maybe something for milk production, maybe something for stretch marks, things like that. That's what comes to mind for me. But like I said, I don't have babies. So if anyone else has better ideas, please put it in the chat for her question. Digestant for morning sickness. Yes, that's a good one. Deep blue for pain. Absolutely. Yep. And it's okay. Sometimes conferences are just one day, and you can still, it's not as good as when they're 2 or 3, obviously, but you can still make connections. Just be really deliberate with your time with each person in sampling them, and always try to enroll them on the spot. The most they can say is no, it's okay. other than that, I mean, if we're gonna to try to track them down later, it's gonna be difficult. I know it sounds like that's not the case. You can't enroll people on the spot, but people do. Lisa Zimmer is really good at enrolling people on the spot. There was another lady that she created the oil camps. She enrolled people on the spot all the time at conferences. But you have to make the offer. If you don't make the offer, they're gonna walk away and you're gonna think, oh, I'm gonna talk to them later. I'm gonna do a consult later. Maybe, if you can get a hold of them later. You have them in front of you. Practice that 10-minute consult. Like practice that. Well, do you have this? What do you experience with this? Oh, what about this? Oh, you know what? And have your trifold as you're talking to them. Mark off the, oh, you have morning sickness? Oh, you have this? Oh, this too? Oh my goodness. You know what? This is the kit you need. One of the things that I've done at one-day conferences is I buy a couple of extra kits because in these, sometimes these places, even in markets, they want to take home that thing that day, right? If you have it right there and it's an impulse buy, they'll just get it a lot of times. If you don't have it, that may be the thing. So if it's in your budget to have a couple of kits that you rotate out, I have done that. Do you use a paper enrollment or have them use their phone? At least it depends. Like I've done phone, I have my laptop. If the Wi-Fi is decent and I can do it on the laptop and have them enter the information, I've done that. I do always have paper forms with me too, because if your table gets crowded and you don't want to lose people and people are ready to order, have them there too. So you have a little bit of everything. But if you have that time with them, I like going over, making sure they're enrolled, because sometimes they write out a form and you can't read a number or you can't read an email or something happens like that too. But I try to have everything just in case, but I do try to enroll them, on my laptop if the Wi-Fi is decent. I did get a personal hotspot box through my cell phone carrier, very affordable. And I think I pay just a few bucks extra a month so that if I'm in a place that the Wi-Fi is bad or I have to, pay this extra huge fee to have Wi-Fi at that event or something like that, I have my own little personal box too. So I do have that. But I know that not everyone can. So have papers just in case as well. Just, so you have everything. Okay, let me go through here. What's the next one? Okay, so, and this part of the presentation is going to pertain to any enrollment, okay? Obviously, right now we're talking about school system and teacher appreciation events and conventions and all of these things, where maybe you have that high enrollment, that weekend. I've had enrollments and events like this for a week, and I enrolled 30 people. I think my highest enrollment month in doTERRA was back in 2016. I think it was 33 people at an event like some type of convention. But what happens? You enroll 33 people in a month and then you don't talk to them again for a year, or they never get on LRP, or they never know that we have toothpaste. I did a wellness consult with a lady that that has been on my team since 2015. Okay, so when we do wellness consults and we do overviews, it's for new people, but please go back into your teams and revisit that with everyone on your team, okay? It takes time, but just every month, find a few people you reach out to. You can use mailbox power for that, and I'll talk more about how you can do that to reactivate people that have been on your team that fell off LRP or maybe never got on LRP. I did a member overview again with a lady that I did it back, when she enrolled in 2015, but back then, we didn't have a lot of the products we have now either. So that's another point, right? But she was buying a remineralizing toothpaste from Amazon for like $16 a tube. And I was like, you're on LRP. She's like, you have toothpaste? I didn't know you had toothpaste. I'm like, what? So you don't assume that your clients just know that they're on the website like us, checking every single thing, and knowing the whole line or even getting our emails or getting our Facebook messages. I could show you my email. I think I have 15,000 emails right now that I haven't checked in my email. Thousands, right? In their mailbox, it's a special thing. I know I get way less junk mail in the mail than I do emails. So now when I get a cute little card or a little coupon, or somebody from another direct sales company that maybe I purchased something from sends me a little coupon or a little thank you or a little promotion thing, I look at them all. I look and I save them. They send me cute little stickers because that's special to me these days. When everything's so digital and all we get is emails and text messages. And That's important to get, and definitely better than like just posting on your Facebook, because nobody's seeing that these days, right? But we have to retain our customers. So we have to have an automated system so that all that work that we do and getting all these enrollments at these amazing events, we retain them and they get on LRP and they understand the benefits of LRP. They understand that that switching their consumables, their green cleaning, switching their personal care products is what doTERRA is about, right? That's so important. So we have to do things to retain them. And I'm going to share with you my process of retention. And I know and understand it may not be for everyone, but I'll tell you this, I've tried many different things throughout the nearly 9 years I've been building doTERRA. And this is what's worked the best for me. So I recognize it takes organization. I recognize it takes creating things and samples, and it takes an investment. I use my points for a lot of it. I try to, as you see here with the little doTERRA concentrate bottle, I repurpose as many things as I can. I ask people to donate their empty bottles to me so I can repurpose them. But as you can see here with the doTERRA one, the concentrate, that's our doTERRA concentrate bottle. I found the spray top that fits it perfectly. So anybody that enrolls with me, they get their doTERRA concentrate bottle with that first little tablespoon that they need to start throwing away all the chemicals they clean with, right? Right from the enrollment. So I try from the point that I enroll someone, I always have these baggies with me and I go to a class, whether it's at an event, whatever it is, I have baggies with me with other types of samples that you can see in the pictures. A little sample of the dish soap, a little sample of the laundry pot, a little sample of the dishwashing pot, a spray bottle with some concentrate in there, right? And I give them these products, the toothpaste, the cough drops, all the, whatever you can get. I do the PB Assist Junior. I do whatever is already kind of packaged in doTERRA that's very easily made little baggies of, like you can put into sample bags. And I try to sample people with their enrollment. So my fast start goes right back into my person, right? I'm going right. My fast start is to create a lifetime user. That's my goal with my fast start. So I invest right back into my people when I enroll them in these ways to give them the experience with the other products that I want them to fall in love with. Because let's be real, if they just order oils, they're not going to be on LRP as much because their oils are going to last too long. They need to fall in love. That's why I'm so excited about the customized kit. And I hope they keep it forever. I hope, like, please, everybody enroll with customized kits for the next 3 months, like crazy. Because what happens is you're gonna get people to at least get on one of the supplements, on one of the products for green cleaning, on something that they're gonna fall in love with that they're going to need every month. And I crunched the numbers just on my team alone. Okay, I have a little over 4,000 people on my team. And I have people that are an LRP for 200 and 300. I have my doTERRA addicts, right? That they order a ton. And then I have my people that order 5 PV and 12 PV and 10 PV, right? And then I have the ones that don't order anything. If instead of me focusing, and I'm guilty of enrolling people with oil kits all day long, because it's just very easy for me to do it. And again, the kits, you know, they get more for their money. They're using their oils, they get into oils, but really, unless I'm getting them on lifelong vitality, which I have, and I do focus on that. But I don't know what happens to you. If somebody that doesn't take vitamins at all, now we're trying to get them to take 3 bottles, 12 pills a day, it's a hard sell for some people. Like, I think people get into lifelong vitality as they kind of move into more being a part of doTERRA lifestyle and that sort of thing, right? But how about just one supplement? How about just the phytoestrogen? How about just the bone nutrient, right? If I can get them to fall in love with one supplement through the customized wellness enrollment of getting them on one supplement, on a couple oils, on one supplement, on something for cleaning, on something for, you know, their body, natural deodorant, something like that. I did the numbers. If I got more of my team, women, on just buying LRP, just the phytoestrogen pill, that's it. Even if they got no oils, if all they did was have this supplement change their life and their hormones. And let's be real, if you're a woman and you have hormones, we need help, right? And I don't focus on that as much as I should. And the customized kits, I've been doing that since they started this month. And I looked at the numbers. It would, if only people bought one supplement from me instead of all these oils and all, if everyone only ordered a 40 PV LRP with me, my volume would go triple what it is every month, triple. And that just blows my mind. But the issue is when we enroll people, we focus on the oils and then we struggle to get them on LRP and then we try to get them on a supplement. So now that we can do that from jump, from the time that we have their attention in that enrollment process, get them on a supplement, get them on something that's a consumable from the beginning. Okay. Forget about all the oils. They'll get the oils little by little in their collection, doing BOGOs, all of that stuff, right? Let's get them on a supplement. So do the samples for the supplements, for the, like I said, and I'm repurposing a lot of this, a little baggie with the pod, all of those things, okay? And then I get them super excited about the overview with me, right? So you're gonna get this time with me. We're gonna talk about how to use your account. We're gonna talk about all the benefits. I want you have to understand how to use your account properly, because you know how many people I work with that they don't understand, they lose out on so many, but you just have to really, really like upsell this overview so that people are really excited to have it with you. If it's, and this is something I've done in the past a ton too. I normally, when I enroll a person and they're whatever they're getting, oils especially, which is more what I used to enroll people with a lot, I have the kids come to me. So this way, they have to come to me to get their oils. And what I do is we crack open that box right then and there during the overview, and we make all these blends with them. So that's part of my sell. Would you, and I give them the option, obviously. I don't just say, yeah, I'm getting your oils, are coming to me. I say, would you like the oils to be sent to you, or would you like them to be sent to me? So when you come, we can make customized blends with them for everyone in your family so that they're more portable, and you have that sleep blend by the bed. You have that pain bed blend in your purse when you're at work. Your husband has it in his truck for his knee. They love it. They, oh my God, you would do that for me? How much do I have to pay for that? It's free. It's part of being a client with me, right? So now they have to come see you because if they're local, I have a lot of people I enroll that are all over the world. So not everybody can come to me, but if they're local, I try to get them to come here because then I can really go through the overview, make their blends for them. So they're going to start. How many times have you enrolled people and they don't even crack open their box? You call them and the box still got the plastic around it and they're coughing up a lung. Makes me want to pull my hair out. So because it's overwhelming. I don't know. What did you say in the class? How do I use this oil? You have potions and pills and I don't know what the heck. No, you know what? You open this bottle and you roll it on your head. You roll it on your feet. You get them on your body. So I just make the rollers with them. Put it in the, now thankfully all the kids come with diffusers. Years ago they didn't. So they didn't even do that. So now at least they're diffusing the oils. But get them to use the oils. And when they have them in the rollers, it's simple, it's easy. They're going to feel the benefit. And then they're going to be like, oh, okay, now I feel a little bit more confident to put that in a capsule or put it in my water and use them a bit more. So that's a really good thing to do with them too. And that's how I get them to come over. What else did I put here? Schedule Zoom. If not, if you're going to do it via Zoom, make sure you schedule it on the spot in the enrollment. Okay, so you're going to get them to meet with you on Zoom this day, put in your calendar. If you use the kind of links that I use to have them registered, they're awesome because they get reminders. Right, you guys hopefully got your reminders about this call today. The email, I mean, I know I sent everybody personal emails because the thing got canceled by mistake, but text messages, you got all those reminders, hopefully, right? That happens too, so they're reminded, so they come on with you, okay? Schedule the Zoom, incentive to LRP. Then I incentivize them trying LRP. So after I do the whole overview with them, and all of that, I say, will you give LRP, loyalty rewards a try for 3 months? Ask everybody that. Again, if we don't ask, and I like the 3 months because it's, you're not just saying, will you get on auto ship? Because that's like, oh my God, I'm signing my life away. I'm going to be on this. And people have bad experiences with auto ship programs, right? We all have had that happen to us. So use the 3 months as like this short-term thing. Will you do this with me for 3 months, right? What happens in 3 months? They're going to feel better. They're going to address different areas of their home, their life, their health. They're going to be able to play with some points by then. They're going to have a nice little bit of points to start using and have fun buying things with their points. And most likely they're going to stick with it. Right? But when you get them on is the hard part. Then they normally stay on for the most part, right? Our retention is really, really good. So ask them, will you do it? Give it a try for 3 months. And then you offer them a gift. I have green cleaning kits that I do where I have like the accessories, right? I give them the accessories that they're going to continue to use to fill up their, I give them that. I give them a little travel. You can see in one of the pictures there's a little travel foam wash thing. And I just go on and on about don't use chemical soaps in the public bathrooms. They're bad for you. The FDA says that they make you weaker and they disrupt your hormones, and just carry this in your bag, in your gym bag, and use your own soap. People love that. Love that. They love that. They just love having the little accessories to use. What do you have in the HD in the middle pic? No, that's not an HD clear pump. Oh, I should recycle that one too. Thanks for the idea. I actually buy those on Amazon. The link will be in there. It's a travel size foam soap. And I put just a little bit in there. They fill the rest with water for their gym bag. Don't use it in public bathrooms. I actually took a little article from the FDA where it says in there, using chemical soaps has never been proven to work any better than regular soap and water, and prolonged use will mess up your hormones, make you resistant to infections and all that stuff. So I just teach them about it. And I'm like, you're going to use the good stuff in your house, obviously, because we've already gone over that, and I trust you're going to do that. When you go to the gym, when you're at your job, when you're at the airport, you don't want to use that stuff. So you have your own little personal one. So I just give them the accessories, very affordable things. I repurpose as much as I can. I give them a sanitizer, like a spray, our spray sanitizers. And I had a lady that I know that sews. She made these little pouches for them so they could hook them onto their purse with cute little designs. And just, it's the simplest, most affordable thing, but people love it. And it's accessories that they're going to use for their oils. And they're going to remember doTERRA everywhere they look. They're going to have a bottle in their purse. They're going to have a little thing hanging from their purse. They're going to have their cleaner. You give them the tools so then they remember you more. You're in their consciousness. They're not going to go back to Tide and Clorox after this experience with you, right? So that's what I do for retention. The thing that I do, so now, I don't know if you guys are like me. I'm sure a lot of you are. You can enroll your person and you can give them that personal attention, right? At these events and all of that. But what happens when your team enrolls? When the sharers on your team enroll? Right? And it's not you doing the overview. It's not you following up with them because you don't know them. I mean, I don't know, some of you on this call may be all different ranks, right? But if you're a gold, a platinum, or diamond, and sometimes even silver, you may have a ton of sharers on your team that are sharing their hearts out and enrolling people, but they're not doing all the things I just explained because they're not doing this as a business. So you're not retaining a lot of that amazing, great sharing enrollments that come to your team. I think I enrolled 11 people last month, but there were 63 enrollments on my team. I don't know all the rest of those people. Never met them, but I want them to know who I am. So anyone on my team enrolls gets this welcome card from Mailbox Power. That's how I get it. Have you been able to go into hospitals? Yes, Margaret, I have done, there was what's that lady's name? She has she does a lot of make and take things. Jody, I think her name is. She has a whole nurse make and take. It's awesome. The nurses loved it. I bought it and I made them during the pandemic and I donated them to the hospitals for the nurses. I enrolled a bunch of nurses with that. I can't, if anybody knows her name, put it in the chat. Jody, somebody, she has a Facebook group where she does a lot of the make and takes for all different kinds of different niche market. Yes, Jody Hoffman. Thank you, Michelle. Yes, for nurses, that's what I've used for the hospitals. Absolutely. So for the people, like I said, that get enrolled on my team that are not enrolled by me, and even the ones enrolled by me, I mean, everybody gets this. So that if I didn't, whether I did the overview or I didn't do the overview, regardless, they're going to get a reminder about it too. So they all get this welcome card from me. As you can see at the top, it talks about, thank you, I'm introducing myself, that I'm a part of their support team. And I explained to them that this doTERRA journey it's about everything in their home. It's not just essential oils. Like, it's about bringing wellness to every facet of their lives. Those of you familiar with the continuing education classes, Elise Sedevi goes over in, oh, it's not full screen? How do I do that? Make my presentation full screen. It's supposed to be, I don't know how to, let me see. Configure. This should be full screen. It is on my end. I don't know. Is it, does everybody see just a little slide, or is it big for, is it big for other people? Because I see it full on mine. Does anybody else see it really little? When you say no, Natalie, what does that mean? We are seeing your presenter view with the next. Oh, how do I do that? Hold on, let me see. Let me see how I do that. Show. See, I am not the techiest person in the world, but I do what I can. Display settings, swap presenter, view, and slideshow. Duplicate slideshow. How do I do that? Let me exit out of here and see. Slideshow. How do I do that? Slideshow from current slide, custom slideshow. I don't want to see. Oh, it still does that. How do I X out of this? Let me see if I could X out of it somewhere. I don't know how to do this. I've never even noticed that next slide thing before. I'm so sorry. If you want me to send you my presentation in the email, I can do that too, because I do not know how to fix it to be all full screen. I wish I did. Black on black slideshow. See all slides. Hide presenter view, is that it? Let me see. Is that better? Is that bigger? It's bigger? Okay. Let me know if that's better. In the meantime, people can pinch and zoom it. Yes, swap presenter and slideshow. Is that good now? Is that good like that? Okay, I'll leave it like that. Okay, so what I was saying about the card was that basically they get yes, please. And okay, I'll try to do the presentation as well. What they get is this card, right? And so it has that QR code. One of the QR codes is connecting them to all my social media. So if they didn't enroll with me, they don't know who I am. It's like those Linktree things where they have like my Facebook, my Instagram, all the things I'm on in social media. So that QR code, I say connect with me here, learn more from me here, especially if the person that enrolled them maybe isn't a builder. The other QR code, like I was saying, if you're familiar with Elise Setterfie's, I think she calls it Back to Basics, where she does these 8 continuing ed classes. I have those classes recorded. I have them on my website. I try to email. Once I get switched over to Avado, I'll be emailing them every week to everyone. I don't do them live because I don't get that many people online to watch them, but I want all my new enrollments to see all those 8 classes. So I did them recorded, and then they're going to get them sent. So that first one of like, I have my oils now what, which is basically the recorded member overview, is that other QR code. So this way, if they don't know me, they've never met me, and the person who enrolled them did not do a member overview, which is most likely the case if they are not builders, and sometimes even if they are builders, right? So what you do is now they get this card and they have the QR code and they can watch the video and they can connect with you, and many, many times people in my organization, and I love when that happens, right? Because I have people building on my team right now. I have people building on my team who are gold rank right now, who came way down in my organization from people that's just shared casually, that never intended on building and still don't intend on building. So it doesn't matter. Like, some people are just not going to do it, right? We have to accept that. But oh my goodness, isn't it amazing when somebody comes onto the team like that, right? So I want to connect with these people, especially if they decide they want to share, they want to build a business. So this is the card that I use for that. So again, we have to make retention and all of that extra loving and serving people that we do on our teams, make it as automated as we can, right? Because I'm not saying don't connect in person. Absolutely. I do those in-person overviews as often as I possibly can. Sometimes I'm pouring into my clients 9 hours a day. And I do believe that is what makes this work amazing. I don't want to be just online. It's not my personality. It's not how I connect with people, but I'm also only one person, right? So I have to do a little bit of both. Okay. And I encourage everyone to do a little bit of both, because it takes that, especially as your team gets really big and you're just one person. So this is a part of the retention. I do the welcome card. It connects to social media. I also do like there, and actually, by the way, when you get the email, you're gonna see, I'm recommending Mailbox Power. They have this new thing now for birthday club. So even if you use the connection and you're kind of overwhelmed with all the different cards, and it'll take time for you to learn how to do it. It took me a while, and I actually hired somebody to help me because, again, as you can see with this, I am not the techiest person in the world, but I saw the value in all of this. So I made it work when I could. The birthday ones, that's a great way to connect with your team, to send them a little birthday card. And there is a way to, if you want to get started with Mailbox Power, there is a way for you to even get a little course. So when you see the links I send you, if you're interested in doing that and getting your little free course with the birthday card one, you can choose that link. Okay. And I'll explain. Basically with Mailbox Power, it's $49 a month, I believe. And it includes this size that you see right here is the size of a normal greeting card, like a 5 by something greeting card. Opens up inside. That's the front, the inside is printed, the inside bottom is printed, and the back is printed. I don't have a picture of the back here, but the back has a little diffuser recipe on there for them. So I even include like a little recipe on the back, and I remind them about the 8 classes that they will be receiving via email. Okay. So I look at it this way, that $49, even if I'm spending that $49 every month and all I'm doing is sending those 50 cards out to 50 different people on my team, that's an incredible way to connect with my team in a way that's going to translate into member overviews, like the lady buying the $15 toothpaste who's now back on LRP with me and sent me a message that her new order has got all kinds of new things on there because I reconnected with her. How much easier is it to reconnect with people who already love the oils, but they just kind of, fell away for whatever reason, than it is to start brand new with somebody, right? So this is a great way to do that. And those, basically, if I went to Walgreens or CVS to buy a greeting card, I'm going to pay like $2, $3, $4, $5, even like $6 for them. So basically for $1 each, I'm customizing the card, my QR code, I got my logo, it's all doTERRAized, right? For $1, right there is paying for itself. That's just the greeting cards. Then you get unlimited postcards on top of that. So when I do my event with those 200, all those beautiful postcards I'm going to have designed, very professionally made, they're all free. And I'm not even shipping them because they're all coming to me. So I'm not even paying postage on that because I'm giving them out in the goodie bags, right? The other thing that you can do, and this is where, and I'll think is it the next slide? Yeah, I think it is. The next slide here. So this, how do I get to the next slide now that I'm doing this view? Oh, I don't think I'm on a slideshow now. Let me see. Can you guys see the next one now? What am I doing here? Okay, there we go. This is when I talked about earlier. Oh my God, I've been on for a while. I'm sorry, guys. It took more than an hour. It's just so much to cover. If you have to go, I totally understand. I only have a few more slides left, but I wanted to explain everything because if you're going to go out and you're going to enroll all these teachers, or you're going to go out and enroll a bunch of people at an event and you're not retaining them, it's not going to help your business, right? So I just wanted to share all the different things I do for my retention, because that's what really makes the big difference in the business. So what I was explaining earlier was that when you make those partnerships with, not the school necessarily, but let's say with the chiropractor's office, I have a couple chiropractors I do classes with too. And the way that helped me. And then here you see this cute little doTERRA box here. This is a craft shop. I recently partnered with a wonderful woman. She's a retired pharmacist. I was like, oh my God. I was trying to, be really compliant with my class, but sweet lady. And she owns a craft shop. And we do crafts after the oil class. She lets me use her space. I can promote to my team. You know how long I've been looking for a space to teach and have just a consistent class that was a good place to use it. It wasn't a place that sold like onion rings and they're like, it's kind of, I'm teaching health and I'm trying to, just a good fit. The crafts, if you have craft shops in your area that actually do craft classes, like they have tables set up and they do crafts, please reach out to them. It's such a great marrying of partnership when you do it in a craft shop, because the people love it. You do a fun oil class, and then we make a little box at the craft. So yes, there's a charge because I have to pay the lady at the craft shop for their little oil boxes. It's like $10, but everyone takes home their little oil box and they have so much fun decorating it. And then this helps you too, because what I tell them is they want their little boxes because you want your oils for the kitchen in the kitchen. You don't want your medicine cabinet with lemon, and then when you're cooking, or your rosemary. Kitchen for the oils, bedroom for your sleep oils, bathroom for your skincare. So each little box, you show them how to keep their oils in each room so that they're using their oils every day, right? It's such a fun way. And then what I did with the lady that owns the craft store was I said, would you diffuse in here? You know, and create a nice aromatherapy for the people when they're teaching your tea. Oh, I would love that. So now I'm going to bring her a diffuser. So as she's teaching all her other craft classes throughout the month, and she's diffusing her oils, and people are going, oh my God, I love how it smells in here. What is that stuff? She can say to them, people that I don't know, that are her clients, well, you know, Marlene comes and teaches an oil class here every month. Would you be interested? In fact, the day that I did teach the class there, she said people that came in for other things were inquiring because they could smell the oils. They could, you know, see all of us learning all these amazing things. It's a really good partnership, right? And my craft, I'm always going to select something that is oil related, you know, so we're going to do boxes, we're going to do diffuser necklaces, diffuser bracelets, maybe even a wreath where, you know, with bunches of lavender, but we put the lavender oil somehow into the wreath so it can be scented, you know, always related to the oils. But something else that I'm doing with these partnerships to make it very enticing for them is marketing. Because not only with Mailbox Power can you use these cards to invite people, you can purchase addresses in that zip code where you're teaching. And have a little, oh, come in, bring this card in and get 10% off your craft class. And you can select in the people you're getting, like you can select people that like crafts, people that are into health. Like it has the categories that show you're targeting like the market. And for $10, you can buy 100 addresses. So when I have these classes going on, I'm going to send in that community cards, and the business owners love it because I'm paying for their marketing. But I'm also marketing myself too, and the class. And even if they don't come to that class, but they bring that card in for that discount on the craft, they're going to learn about the oils there too, because she'll be diffusing them and she'll invite them to the next class. But if you find it difficult to get people to say yes to offering their space for you to teach, offer this as kind of like leverage, because they're getting, you know, free marketing in people's mailboxes, right? So that's another thing that I as well have done. If I ask for referrals, what is this? Oh, okay. So this is about like getting people to host classes for you, right? So I found the craft place. That's where I'm doing it once a month. But every single person that I enroll or that I come in contact with about oils gets asked to host a class, period. Just get comfortable with asking, however you need to ask. Just ask. People tell me, I have presidential diamonds, blue diamonds telling me they cannot get people to host classes. I truly believe it's because they're not asking enough people. That's the solution. Even through the pandemic, people, oh, nobody wants to host classes, the COVID, everyone's afraid. They're afraid. You haven't asked enough people. You have not asked enough people. My calendar, I made the decision. Once I felt like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do a push again. I don't know, those of you who've been doTERRA for a long time, but sometimes you have to take a little breaks and you go in hard again and you take it. So I'm doing a push again. Like I'm going to act like I'm doing Diamond Club. And I said, I want, especially when I kept hearing my team tell me, nobody wants to host classes. I'm a firm believer that I like to be the example on my team. So if I have people on my team telling me nobody's hosting classes, they're afraid, I will prove them wrong. And I decided I am going to have a class hosted every single Saturday of this year. I started that in February. This is now April. I am booking classes into July at this point. Every single Saturday. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to be willing to do that, but if you're going for a rank, if you have a big goal, okay, and you have that push in you, do it, okay? And I'm getting no's just like anybody else. Of course I am. I'm getting no's. We all get no's. We all get no's. but I'm asking more people. That just means I have to ask more people to get the yeses of what I decided was my goal, which was every single Saturday in 2022, I will be teaching a class. That is my goal. And so far it's working. People are saying yes. How? I ask everyone. Every single person I ask. They enroll with me. How many of you have gotten text messages? Terry, how do I use Digestin? Oh my God, my son, he fell. He just drank a bottle of peppermint. What do I do? How many, you guys get, don't tell me you guys don't get these calls. What do I have a headache. What do I do? My dog has a rash. You guys get these calls. I know you get these text messages. I know these people reach out to you to ask you questions. I know they do. They do for me too. And guess what they get asked after I help them? Will they host a class for me? Every single person that contacts me in my email box, in my text messages, in whatever they're asking me, I'm going to help them. And then I'm going to ask them to host a class. And guess what? People are going to say yes. Especially when after I help them with the issue they had, works, right? They're like, oh my God, Marlene, the blend you gave me for my dog, it helped this rash, it's gone. That's amazing. Your friends and family need to know about this. When are we doing a class? That's it. If you're not having classes, you're not asking enough people. That is the simple solution. That's it. Maybe that's the same solution for builders. I'm not there yet, but I get people to host classes. I'm not getting all the builders yet, but I can help you host classes. Partnerships in the community, the Kairos, the pet store. We got pets and oils, the pet rescues, the craft shops, the acupuncture. Go into your community and meet people. I have been known to sit in a bank waiting to be called on, and I'll open my oil and start putting it on. Literally every cubicle in there. What is that? Who's smelling that? What was that? Who smells like oil? And they start asking me. By the time I leave that bank, I've sampled everybody in that cubicle, and I probably asked a couple to host classes for me. I just met them that day. And I am not an extrovert, by the way. Maybe you don't see that in me, but I really am not. I am an introvert. I am the girl at the party in the corner observing. I'm not out there. I'm not the one making tons of conversation. But this business means so much to me because of how much I just love it, that I get out of my comfort zone. And I know that what works is making contacts regardless, right? So I use my oils. I lean on my oils for that. I have my water bottle with my doTERRA stickers on it. You know, I use my sanitizer at the gym. I use them as much as I can so that I'm not breaking the ice asking somebody about the oils. They're asking me. And once that happens, all bets are off, right? I'm taking that conversation where I needed to go, okay? I've had my trainers at my gym. I've turned around to get my water. I turn back, they're smelling the barbell like, what is this? Why does this smell like clove? Because I'm using On Guard on all the weights in the gym, right? So just use your oils, make those connections in your community. Ask everyone on your team to host a class. Just ask. I think the next slide might be, maybe this one. How do I get to the next slide again? Okay. No, this isn't the next slide. This is another one. This is also part of the member overview. I will send you the link for Roger Webb's. This is a game changer for me. Swap Where You Shop has helped me. And you know what's crazy? I don't know if this happens to some of you guys. You do something, like I learned about this form, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, a long time ago, years ago. I learned about it, I bought it, I used it worked fine, and then I just stopped. I don't know why we do that sometimes. I did that. And then what I was doing, I was getting people on LRP, but not the way I wanted to. I just wasn't. And not only the new people, like this has helped me go back and revisit with current members that have been with me for years. Now that we have so many extra new, great, amazing products, the pods, you know, all these new things, right? So I went back to using this. And in the last 2 weeks that I started using this, I've done, I think, like 10 member overviews with both new people and current members that were not on LRP anymore. And I think like 8 of them I got on LRP with this. And now they're getting on LRP with more consumables, you know, not just oils, with things that they already buy. Because this sheet, basically, they're putting on there what they already buy every month. So you're just helping them swap what they shop, where they shop, and what, what they're getting, right? He has a whole like training on how he uses the form. That's going to be in your email if you want to watch his training. I just use the form and it works. I just say, we're going to swap where you shop. Where do you buy? I show them how much LRP points they'd get. Why are you shopping without getting anything back? What are we doing? You've been sent. What did you like from the samples I gave you? And boom, I get them on LRP. Okay. So this has been a game changer. If you have trouble with LRP, you have trouble getting people to get on consumables, try this form. It's really, really, really good. This also, I don't know if you guys have seen this with the protein and the fiber and the greens. Share Oils made these little sample packs for this. So I sample, like, that's a way for me to entice current members to do these overviews with me. Oh, I have all these, have you heard of all the amazing things we have now? We have protein and we have fiber and we have this, and or you do protein shakes. Would you like to try anything new? This is, and I just send them a whole list of like all the soap, the this, the that, the skincare. Like, would you like to try any of these things? Yeah, heck yeah, they would. Great, when can you do a Zoom call with me? And we do the swap where you shop form. So go back, not just new members, go back and scrub your team for those people who are not on LRP anymore and get them back. Get them back. I know it can feel overwhelming. It is for me too, but I make it a point of putting somebody in my book, in my calendar, to reach out to at least 1 or 2 people a day that are already on my team. And a lot of times they're reaching out to me, right? Because they're asking me what they do for their dog's rash. And I look, oh, who's this person? Wait a minute. Are they on LRP? Oh, hold on. This is what you do. And when can we do a Zoom call? Because I have to explain something to you that you must not understand or know about. You must not. So I have to explain it to you so you understand where you're missing out on. When can we talk? Right? So when people reach out to you, don't just answer their question about what oil to use for their indigestion. Like, take that conversation and go deeper with it. They're reaching out to you. Okay. I love when it happens. I know some people are like, oh my God, so many people contact me every day. I give them the Modern Essentials app and I tell them to read their books and they still ask me. I love when they do. I love it, because then it's, how many times you text a bunch of people and you wish they would respond to you, right? Nobody responds to you. So when they come reach out to me, I'm taking that conversation where I need it to go, right? So remind yourself of those things so you can do that. Do the swap. Please get this form or watch Roger Webb's thing. Oh, here, these are some examples here. This was a lady. This is actually the class I'm teaching this Saturday. I posted something completely unrelated. She commented, oh, I missed your class. Again, because of COVID, I had stopped doing these group classes in my home because that happened. And then now I have the craft store. But I didn't say that to her. I missed your group meetings. Well, will you host one for me? Okay, I can. Doing on Saturday. I'll text you in a week with the date. Okay, that's it. Like, literally, she commented on a post on Facebook telling me she missed my classes. She used to come to all my classes. She missed them. She's never hosted for me. She's been in my team, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. Never hosted a class. She came to a lot of my classes, but never. She would bring friends here and there, but never hosted one. And asked, I missed your classes. Will you host one for me? That's my class this Saturday. She has 10 people going. Here's another one. Oh, this was the one I told you about with the dog, the rash, the dog. She was saying the dog had rashes. Keep me posted. Also, I have some awesome incentives for February and March for hosting a class with a few friends. Would you be interested? I already did that class and I got a share out of it who's a nurse who teaches nursing, who is now going to get me into her teacher's appreciation nursing school. So me helping her with her dog's rash has now become, who knows, maybe a new builder. How many of you remember to do that when people reach out to you with issues with their health? Do you ask every single person to host a class? If you not have people hosting classes for you, you're not asking. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. There's no secret to it. There's no special sauce. There's no secret. You are just not asking. Yes, I said, oh, there's awesome incentives. Oh, I didn't even know what I was going to give her. I knew I was going to give her something, but I'll figure that out later when I figure out what she likes and make it be that, right? Who cares what it is? You don't have to say it's going to be this or that. I have great incentives when you host a class for me. Okay. Another thing that helps me a lot with referrals, if things start to dry up a little bit for me for a while, I'm not getting referrals. I mean, classes are not, something's going on. I just don't have enough happening enough to make me happy that I'm not as busy as I like to be. Another way that I get my calendar full again with new people, aroma touch technique. And right now, with the fact that you can enroll people with aroma touch technique, jump on this. Jump on this. They can get certified, right? So what I do is offer it to people who already are on the team first, of course. You know, maybe I look through my team, who's not on LRP, who's ordering very little, you know, that type of thing. I need them in front of me. I need to talk to them again. I need to remind them how amazing doTERRA is, right? Reach out. Hey, and this is what I tell them. Hey, I'm certified in this special technique with using the essential oils while you're on a massage table. And I never say I'm giving them a massage because I'm not. I just tell them they're lying on a massage table when I'm doing this technique. And I need practice. Would you let me practice on you? Yes. I've never gotten someone to tell me no. Heck yeah, when do you need me to come over? And then when I want new people, I say, do you have any friends or family that suffer from pain, stress, anxiety, poor immune system, poor sleep habits, insomnia, any of these issues? I would love to offer them this technique. Could you ask them if they'd be willing to let me practice on them? Calendar full. You want to fill your calendar with new people and all the other things we just talked about are not quite doing it for you. Here's another strategy. Okay. In the 9 years I've been doing doTERRA, I think one person out of all the aroma, and I'm an aroma touch trainer. So I actually train people. I taught the classes, all of that, done hundreds of aroma touches. And what I don't do, my mom does. She loves giving aroma touches. So when I'm too busy to do all of them, I have my mom do them for me. So between the both of us, probably thousands of people have gotten aroma touches from us over the last 9 years, at least 1,000. One person didn't enroll after their aroma touch, okay? One person. Everybody enrolls after an aroma touch for the most part. And I think most people can attest to that, right? And so that's another way, okay? Offer incentives to hostess, make sure that that's another thing, prep your hostesses too. So if you get people to host a class for you, and they're not fully sharing, I give them samples, okay? So I make a little package of samples, like just the On Guard, the Serenity, the Peppermint. I make about 10 of them, put them in a baggie with the share guide, okay? And I teach them how to invite those people to the class and that they sample them before the class. So I give them the tools to make sure that when I go to teach that class, they've been sampled. What does our conversation sound like after you give them the aroma touch? I do a consult, Michelle. So I do a consult before the aroma touch where I talk about what are some of their issues. I go over questions with them. They do the aroma touch and they come in and how was that? How did that feel? Would you like to start working with me? These are ways you can get started, blah, blah, blah. It's like a consult, just with that extra experience of them receiving the aroma touch. And now I'll probably go in the direction of the certification. So if you really enjoy this, would you like your husband to learn how to do this so he could do it on you every month, a few times a week instead of you having to wait until you come for me to do one because I'm usually too busy to do too many of them anyway. Would you like your daughter to learn? Would you like your husband to learn? When I was an aroma touch trainer, that's how I would get a lot of people to just get certified in aroma touch, even when they weren't builders. I would say I would give them one. They'd be like, oh my God, that was amazing. Have your husband learn how to do it so you can do them on each other, right? Now they can enroll with that kid. So that's kind of probably more so the direction I'd go in with that conversation, right? So I was saying for the host, you give them the samples, you give them the share guide, and you train them how to invite properly, how to sample properly. And then for the reminders, I do use my, that link so that people are getting text messages or getting emails so they don't have to like remind everybody physically all the time because they probably won't. Thank you gifts are nice. The thank you cards. I do thank you cards with Mailbox Power too. So I send everyone who hosts for me a really nice card and it talks about like, thank you for hosting a class for me. Because of you, I'm able to do what I love doing. This is truly my purpose. And we really don't get to learn this information unless people like you plant that seed in others. And so thank you for that. It's this long thing I write. I give them a gift. If anyone refers someone to me, because not all the time will people host classes, but how many times has somebody said, call Terry, she helped me with allergies, and you just get a word of mouth referral. And I want to encourage that behavior. So they get a referral card. and they get a little gift as well. And it's always doTERRA related. You know, now that we have these beautiful bottles, I mean, how nice to get this bottle with the lotion or the spray bottle with the spray cleaner, right? The nice glass one so that they want to use them and fill them up all the time, right? Something like that. So I always give them gifts like that are related and that are very affordable. Okay, I think that might be the last slide. Oh my goodness, almost 2 hours. I'm sorry it took me longer. I just really wanted to cover all the info and really hopefully inspire you guys to like get out there. It's opening up many places. Hopefully where you are, it's open enough. But even if it isn't, partner with businesses because they're open, right? Maybe the homes aren't opening up to you yet. Maybe the schools even may not, but businesses are open and they need what we have to offer more than ever, more than ever. I'm so glad, Terry. Thank you for sharing how you loved Mailbox Power too. Any other questions, go ahead and put them in the comments. I can stay on for a couple more minutes. My pleasure, Elise. I hope I covered everything and I didn't. It was just so much. I tried to get everything in there. The name of the person and the, wait, what is she saying? You pay for shipping, but they ship all the cards. Yes. So for Mailbox Power, if you're sending them out to like when you buy addresses, you're paying the shipping for that, but they go directly to them. And I think we got a little bit of a discount too on the shipping. It's so worth it, guys. Oh my goodness. It's transforming my business between Mailbox Power, between automating with the text messaging and all the different things I'm doing now. So I'm not on my phone, like literally texting everybody before a class. That used to take me forever. It was just crazy. So the more you can automate, you know, the more you can do those types of things. It's very, very helpful. But get out there, use your tools, use your skills, ask everybody to host a class. I would love to see in the school page that some of you start doing that and how many classes you're able to book just by remembering to ask every single one. Anybody that reaches out to you, anybody that talks to you, if they'll host a class for you. Awesome, Margaret, I love that. Yeah, they'll trust you. You're already a teacher there. So that's awesome. I'm glad, Tiffany. I hope it was helpful. It was a lot of information, but it's just, like I said, it's just things I've done. That have worked more for me, and I've tried everything. I try to revamp and tweak and do and try to be more effective and more efficient each year. And, you know, just try to do things that work and try to work smarter and not harder. But what I found is that it does take a little bit of organization, some samples, really loving on people, which, I mean, that's a beautiful thing, you know, and I understand we all have different levels of investment budgets that we have for the types of things that I do. So just do what you can, you know, we don't all have to do the, you know, elaborate packages, you know, repurpose your doTERRA bottles, make a spray, repurpose your concentrate bottles, make a little, even if it's just that concentrate you give everybody. Okay, do the math. If everybody on your team was on LRP for the concentrate, it's even the fourth, you know what I mean? Like every bit counts. So I hope this helped. Thank you, Chantel. I mean, you know, that's the fun part of this business too, is just to like get creative, right? And like, what can I do? And I see all of you guys too. Sometimes a lot of what you see, obviously, like I'm using Roger Webb's form and I'm using Lisa Zimmer's trifold and I'm using mail. Like I get information from everywhere too, and I learn from everyone and just try to pick and choose, you know, what works best for me and what yields results, you know. But I think that's a beautiful thing in our doTERRA culture, is that we share all these ideas and, you know, and we come together and really try to do what's working. You need to check out WAA for your website automations. Oh, really? Okay, Terry, I will check, because that's one of the things that I'm like the latest on. With you can see I can't even figure out how to do a slideshow, never mind a website. So that's one of the last things I've really kind of fully done. I do have a little website with the 8 classes on there, but I'm trying to get emails out and text messages out, that sort of thing. And I feel like I'm forgetting stuff, but I tried. That's why I had the presentation, because I'm like, I'm gonna forget so many things, and I still feel like there's things I'm not mentioning that I do, but I'll post them in the page. If you're not on our page, it's DO. It's the very first DO in schools fundraisers and businesses. And if you're interested in the fundraisers, if you go to that page and you do the pin post, I believe there's a video I did back when I opened the page up where I really focus on teaching how I do fundraisers. They're also a little labor intensive, but they can be really good result in a lot of good quality sampling with people, with the community in the school, like with the parents, you know, that sort of thing. So I don't do them as much anymore because they're a lot of work for sometimes the, you know, the yields, what I get in terms of like the enrollments and stuff. I do much better with the faculty and the staff. And by the way, teachers, and there's some on here right now, make amazing builders. They're already teachers. They already know how to educate. They're very organized. They understand technology, right? So I plant that seed of the business with all my teachers. They're really good builders. I have a couple of sharers, really good sharers, and full-time builders that are teachers with me. Not full-time, but I have some part-time builders that are teachers. Can you put the Facebook group in the chat? Yes, let me see if I can get it right here. It's Joe in our schools. Oh wait, I'm doing this to one person. Let me put everyone. Joe in our schools, fundraisers. And oh, somebody put it. Thank you. Business. Yeah. So that the top part is about the fundraisers. And then, you know, if it's a smaller fundraiser, maybe like a church fundraiser would be good, you know, maybe another way to kind of get in. I have taught in churches essential oils and the Bible, but sometimes it's a little harder to get into churches to teach a full class and things like that, but they love fundraisers. So you can offer fundraisers for churches, for certain smaller groups that you're trying to get into. And I do explain a lot of them there. I'm a teacher and had a parent yesterday ask me if I still do oils because she is interested. Oh, awesome. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes schools, they're allowed to, you know, expose the children to oils. So that's awesome. There's a county here that the teachers are allowed to diffuse in the classroom. And that's the next county I'm trying to get into, because then I'm going to shift a lot, right? And I'm going to shift not just for their own personal wellness, but like how they can use them. And I'm a mental health counselor. So before I was like a full-time doTERRA person, 80% of my mental health practice was ADHD. Like that's what I worked with kids. So I'm very, you know, I know how children need these oils and I use them in my practice. You know, before I became full-time doTERRA, I was in clinical practice and I use essential oils with my kids for ADHD, and I saw amazing things. That's what helped build my belief in them. You know, parents would bring their kids in, hyper kids, you know, and complain about the kids from the teacher said this and they bounce off the walls and they don't stand still and the kid would be there for the whole hour next to the diffuser playing with his little toy. And I'd be like, well, did you bring his brother into the session? Because I don't know, this doesn't seem like the kid you're describing. And the parents would be like, I want that machine. I want what's in there, right? So like I saw it, you know, with the kids. I know what they can do in a classroom so that they can, you know, help the kids in the classroom before they get to a therapist, you know, before they're sending them to people like me. That's ideal, you know, to intervene in the classroom. So absolutely. I've had amazing stories like that clinically. I had parents come to me with their kids, you know, I have a whole school in Puerto Rico that the whole school became doTERRA. The whole entire school, because of one student who was so intensely symptomatic with ADHD that they could not believe his transformation. And when I was teaching the mother about the oils in the very first meeting we had, and I'm talking about the oils, she brought the kid in, I put something in the diffuser. She had him in her lap. And I'm teaching her about the oils and what she should get. And she cuts me off like a minute in. She's like, I don't want to hear anything else. I was like, oh my God, what did I say? She goes, do you see this kid? He does not sleep. And the kid was like this. So passed out in her lap. He does not nap. This does not happen. I want all of them. Everyone in the biggest bottle you have, she said. So I know what they do for kids. You know, I've seen it. And I'm so excited that there are counties that are allowing it in the classroom. So find out, find out in your communities if that's the case. And even if it's not, teach the teachers. You guys are teachers. You are somehow that parent knows you use oil some way, right? So word spreads, and we plant those seeds any way that we can. So, okay, I know it's late. It's been almost 2 hours. So I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for being on. It's been a pleasure. I love sharing, and I hope to hear from a lot of you in the group. Share your ideas, share what's working for you. And hopefully we can connect again soon. I'll see if I can, do another presentation at some point. If there's something you want to learn from me and you need from me, post it in the group, and I'll try to, do these a little more often. So, and let me know if you don't get the email. You should get it in about 4 hours, because I'm going to have this video upload so you can get the recording so that I have enough time to get the recording posted in the email too. So it's set to go out in about 4 hours with all the information. Thank you guys. Have a good night.